Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you all for participating in today's meeting. And also I'd like to thank CDI for giving me the chance to talk about different topics and share my ideas and thoughts. So basically it gives every single body the chance, it's a platform that gives everybody the chance to talk about his or her own ideas about different topics and see the same topic from different perspectives, which is really amazing. Well, today's topic mainly is going to be about media. We're going to discuss the influence of the media, the power of the media, and basically we'll try to answer the question, how does media shape the public opinion? We know that the mass media is really influential in our society, so basically it influences the individuals and society. We would love to know how does it shape the public opinion in general. So I should probably start with, I don't know, who wants to talk first? The main question is, how does media shape the public opinion? Feel free, guys.
Can I start?
Sure, go ahead. Waleed, I've got Waleed from Morocco. Yeah, sure.
Thank you for this opportunity. That's a very interesting topic one. And global, I think the media can shape a lot of the public opinion, because if any country have a strong media, she can change or lie or say the truth about something, that he can change the opinion of the public. If we do a comparison between two countries, if a country has a strong media, can control all the public opinion. If another country has weak media, the public can win if can do some protest or do some give his true opinion. But if a country has a true and good and strong media, the public, I think he can't do anything, even if that's not fair, is weak, if the meaning is clear. That's my opinion.
It is very clear. Thank you so much, Waleed. Well, thank you for sharing your opinion. Well, who else? Sure. I've got, yes, sure.
Okay, thank you. The topic of today is very interesting. Thank you so much for the idea. Actually, I believe that the media is a platform that gives a voice to the truth. It is supposed to be given a voice to the truth. And we see that recently, the media is just a platform that is here to influence people in favor of some certain aspects. For example, you see that if a politician, he is running his campaign, you see that the politician whose the media is in favor of him, he is the one who is more likely to get most voices. He is the one to get who is most likely to be the person who is shown as a good person to serve the people. But it's not always the case, because the media is focusing on some certain, I would call it, like some topics that are not really interesting to the people. The media of today is not focused on the economy, is not focused on science, either technology, or any kind of ideas or approaches that may develop the society, but it is focusing mainly on some very topics that do not really matter. And you see, when the media is taking a topic, it kind of shapes the popular opinion in a way that there is only one popular opinion and all others' opinions are unpopular. And when you are a person who has an unpopular opinion, you are more likely to be questioned in your society. Your values are going to be questioned. Your ideas are going to be questioned. So I believe that in order for us to reach like a very good society, a society that can coexist with each other no matter how different they are, the media should play a role in it. Like, the media focuses sometimes on diversity, but the diversity is the ethnic diversity. Diversity is not only bad. This is a very, I would call it, kind of a biased definition of what diversity is. Diversity is diversity of thought. It is diversity of probably values sometimes, of ideas. It is what makes me me and what makes you you, and how we together should like be together and talk and discuss in order to thrive and make our society reach a better stage. So I think that the media should play a role in making people coexist with each other and making people tolerant to each other and spreading humanistic values. An important topic for the people. Media should spread facts about economy, facts about technology. The media should inform, should reach out to people's home in order to make them more critical thinkers, more creative, in order to give them the tools to think. I'm here, I'm going to get you an expert who will make his analysis, and based on that, you will get some information to be able to process it and make a decision or like vote or do whatever regarding to the topic. So this what should the media do? The media plays a very important role in any society, and I always say that a media plus collected system of data collection plus technological um, tools, we can really change our society and make it better and better and better and develop it from so many other aspects. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. You actually touched a really important topic, really important point as well. I strongly believe that the mass media has a great impact on the masses, the people who control the media, and that's what you mentioned. The people who control the media, they are on top of the pyramid, right? I'd like to ask you another question, Sarah. How do you think the media, since we all know that the media, the media has a big influence on societies in general, how do you see the influence on the culture? Like culture, ideologies on the society, and what do you think of our society as Algerians? On what extent we are actually influenced by the media, the Western media, for example?
I actually believe that the media currently, when it comes to ideologies, it is really playing on the emotional side of everything. We have a media who's not ready to stand up and speak up about what's happening in the country, in Algeria, as fact. Like we have, for example, any kind of project that is going to be launched in Algeria, whether now or in the future, the media should play an important role into spreading facts about that project. The media should be objective, and I believe that when it comes to culture, it is up to the media. Like we have kind of a country, we have the media, and then we have the international level. So the media should be playing important role in linking between the country and other countries and like the global vision. When it comes to that, the media is like it is here to impact people into coexisting with each other and into extracting their culture internationally, to make it international culture, to up level the tourism in the country. Who says tourism? We say obviously economy. So I truly believe that today's media is not doing its role. We're not celebrating our diversity, for example, in Algeria. The media should play an essential role in celebrating diversity, in influencing people coexisting with each other, in speaking about tolerance and things that matters. For example, why does it matter to me as a person, like I'm an Algerian citizen? Why does it even matter to me to know if a person, what background that person has, or what
Mhm.
ethnicity that person has? I want to know what ideas this person has, what
Exactly.
project this person has, what economical
Mhm.
project this person has. And I always say that in Algeria we do not celebrate enough our culture. So I believe that in order to reach the level that we are at peace with our culture, we must be calling out for experts, historical experts, cultural experts who really identify the Algerian culture and the diversity of the Algerian culture and make action plans
Exactly.
to up-level it, to develop it, and then to transfer it to the international level through the media. So it's very important to play these two roles. We are here for people to be at peace with each other, to coexist with each other, and then we are also promoting our culture and the beauty of our culture. You see that Algeria is a
Certainly.
multicultural country. It's a very diverse
Certainly.
country. You got you got the Mediterranean coast, you got the Sahara. In one country, you got desert, and you got the beaches. You got different people. In one country, you got white, you got black. In one country, you got people who speak different slangs. All of these
And
things
yet
should
it's
be
not promoted. Yes.
exactly.
Yes. Yet it's not promoted. The media is not emphasizing on this part of the Algerian culture.
Exactly,
It's
and it
like
should
it's
be.
not promoting it internationally. Exactly. I've always thought we're on the same page, Sarah. Thank you so much. That was really interesting. Whatever you said was so interesting. Well, I'd like to hear from different backgrounds, different countries. I see from Mexico. How do you see? Can you hear me, Jerry? Hello.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
sometimes your voice are breaking, Miss Yasmin.
yeah.
Sorry, you can't hear
Sometimes,
me well.
yeah, sometimes you are cutting out, so it's hard
Well,
to make out what you are saying. Yeah, you
all
can
right.
go ahead. I will give you a hand, so you just turn off your camera if we
All right.
don't
Mhm.
hear you very well.
So basically, we're talking about the same topic and trying to answer the question for you, Jerry, is the following: like, you see, media
Sabrine, you are
shaping
cutting
the
out
public opinion.
again. Yeah, I think it's better
Yes,
to turn
yes.
off your camera. Mhm.
I can hear.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello? Yeah,
Can you
go
hear
ahead,
me?
Yasmin.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes. So yes, Mr. Jerry. The question is, how do you see that the media influences and shapes the public opinion?
Okay. So I think that it does play a role, a very important role. For example, here in Mexico, we are very close to the U.S., to the United States. So we receive a big influence from them into our culture. You can see it in the music, in the ideologies, the movies as well. So for us, we even that we still have our own identity, we are absorbing part of the inner culture of the US. So that's one of the points. But also, media has played an important role here in Mexico, for example, during elections, because sometimes it has been used for good, but other times for bad, either to help a candidate or to destroy it. And I have seen it in like the different levels, even from the small towns till the president. I don't want to get into politics, so I'm just going to leave it like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, but also talking about ideologies, for example, in Mexico also it's kind of recurrent to have strikes for different reasons. And the social media has been a place where the people can gather and kind of establish an idea for what they want to fight for. But also, in other times, the media has been sabotaged in the way that they create a wrong idea in order to move the people to create a strike. So it depends. I think that the main thing in here is for you to have your own opinion and to get as much information as you can from different sections, so that you can contrast, not just going by the news or whatever thing you see in Facebook. And also it's important to check who is saying whatever thing, because if you have information from someone that is unknown, maybe it's not very reliable. So you have to get informed. You have to be informed very well, as well as analyzing what's better.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, as we can see, like you mentioned, the influence of the media either positively or negatively, and so we basically need to check for the source of information that we need to believe. Yes, so I'd like to hear
Yasmin,
from.
you can pay attention to people who are raising their hand on the chat room, so you
Yes.
can, yeah.
Yes. Are they? I can't notice anything.
Click on participants and then you'll be able to see who's raising the hand.
I'd like to add
Yes.
something
Yes.
about
Yes.
media,
Sure.
the influence of
Um,
media. If I can talk, alone.
Certainly. Certainly. I've got Abdurraouf. Yes. Certainly.
Thank you, Yasmin. So, I do think that the influence of media on people depends basically on how people are dependent to media at first, and then how people are let's say, know how to use social media and everything. For example, if you take back in the mid 90s, when people just like they only had a TV to watch. There were no computers, no social media, no YouTube, and no Facebook. There was a concept that was called like bullet. It was like a bullet of a gun. Like when you share an information, people will get it, will consume it directly. But with the evolution of other information technology, people were motivated and they could like make their own opinions. So now basically people don't take the information from the information technology itself, but they take it from influencers. So I know someone, I like someone, I follow someone. So if he has such an idea, because I trust him, I would take the same idea or the same ideology. So this is basically how people are influenced. If we take it here in Algeria, if you go like a little bit down to the Sahara, you'll understand this concept more. So I've seen people playing dominoes in groups during the Corona crisis. They were there, and when police came to them, like to asking them to go to their homes and stay their homes, they were like, the coronavirus doesn't exist. It's not here. It's not here. It's in Algeria. Go to the capital. It's there. So this is how media plays. So I would say I would like to add too that the media is a double-sided weapon. So if it can be the real face of what's happening, as it can be the mask of what's happening, depending on the conscience of people directing it, their honesty, how if they are here to defend the truth, or they're here just to make money out of information they sell.
Yes.
So that's it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Can
for
you hear
sharing your
me?
opinion. Yes.
Can I share?
Yes.
Hello?
Certainly. Certainly. Go ahead. I can hear you very well.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm from Sri Lanka, Sashwin. First
Sorry,
of
where are
all,
you
I
from
thank.
again?
I'm from Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka.
Hello? Are you still with us? Yes, sir. I think you've got a problem with your internet as well. Can you hear me, sir? I guess not. Yes, Mr. Yeah, we can't hear you. Can you guys hear him, or is it just me?
Oh, his voice is like yours when you are your voice breaking, so we
Yeah.
cannot.
Yes, I believe I can.
Shireen, we cannot hear you. So we are going to move to another person.
Yes,
then you
so
can speak later when your connection get stable. Okay.
I've got someone raising his hand. Soham from India.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Soham, are you
Yes.
with us? So.
Yes, I am from India.
Would you like to share your opinion about the topic?
Yes, of course.
Hello?
Actually,
Go
after
ahead. I can.
yes, actually after hearing your introduction, I like to know you why you choose this topic. So this is a really good topic to discuss. So in my country, there are a lot of bad sides of media, because not only media by we see on TV like news. There's a kind of social media we all know, like Facebook, Instagrams, that kind of thing. So uh, here, some people used to share some illogical and some bad bad newses, like if you do something if you do something in the evening, so your future is bright, so that kind of things. And in the last of that, that's written that if you share this to 3 people, then you will have a good news. So people share it, they don't know the logic behind this, and they share it to 3 people, and 3 people is sharing to 3 people others. So that kind of things are very bad. I I like to I would like to know you about that. I don't know in your country this going as well or not. But of course, media has also bright and good sides, because we are
Certainly.
hearing all news over the world in BBC World, and I like to watch it because I like to know about other countries. But our Indian media, there's a lot of media who is really not that good and sharing wrong information. And some media people used to follow to the rich people who pay the highest tax. So media emphasize that kind of things. But I hope you guys know, India is a very poor country, and here are all beggars. Here are a lot of beggars in the streets. So media can't emphasize their lives, how they live their daily lives. So I think the media should emphasize that section too in the media, and we can all know that how people are surviving with facing that difficulty. So for me, bad media uh, is great in my country. I don't know about your country, so thank you, Miss Yasmin.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Suham. You actually mentioned the very interesting point, which is that the media doesn't emphasize on some parts of the country.
Hello,
That
can you hear me?
we have like a wrong stereotype. Yes, yes, we can.
Yes, I'm from Sri Lanka.
Yes, you were speaking
Hello?
actually, and then your internet was off. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would you like to
May I
talk? Is
speak
it stable
again?
now? Certainly.
Yes, yes.
Certainly. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Media has pros and cons. Media actually like a knife, because it can be used to cut fruits and vegetables, as well as it can be used to murder. So media has two sides. There's a good side and bad side. Another good side is recently we know all of you, global pandemic. The global pandemic is that's Corona COVID-19. That pandemic, we don't know about that, but media tell us to how to handle that, how to facing that, and how to we can save from the COVID-19. That's good idea. But I have seen that last couple of weeks, in US, the US, that man I can remember that name was
George Floyd,
George.
his name.
George Floyd.
Yes, yes. He is murder from another American policeman. So that America people were angry, very angry, and all over the world support to that while that they are support to that man. So to get the right of black people. So media has two sides. One is good thing is that is spread to the society. Another one is spread to
Mm-hmm.
the society to show the wrong way to another country also. So we have to
Give a
realize
wrong image, yes.
as a citizen, as a human, we have to realize what is good, what is bad. So before we
Certainly.
cannot realization, we can't enter to the this message to the spread to the society. So thank you
Mm-hmm.
for very much to telling my uh, opinion. I'm not a not native speaker, English speaker.
It's totally
Sorry for
fine.
any mistake. Please excuse me.
It's totally fine. We actually share our ideas. The language doesn't matter. It's just like a vehicle to transport your ideas. So it doesn't matter at all. Thank you so much for mentioning a very interesting point. As you said, the influence of the media was good by telling the people the reality of the country that we're living in. So
Yes, of
basically,
course.
that's one of the good things about the media. Yes. Yes, I've got Sarah Ilhaj raising her hand, waiting to speak. Sarah.
For what?
Yes.
But it's okay.
Yes.
We have to listen to others' opinion.
Certainly.
So from my side, I see media as a marketing thing. We cannot do a marketing only for subjects or people. We can do marketing for ideas. And the one who's presenting those subjects or presenting anything are humans like us. Are the journalists, the influencer, they're humans having certain kind of ideas, and they transform it to us by their own way. So if you are seeing someone, it does. So if you are seeing someone and he explain it to you in a way that makes you believe that's the reality. So you you can, let's say, if you can see only what's your the media in your country is saying, and let's say you're trusting your media, so you're believing it even it's true or not. So it's a marketing to ideas, and it's our, I see it's our duty to active our critical thinking, so that we can know if this information is true or false, if it's the actual reality. And as Sarah mentioned about doing about media, how it can do promotion to our culture, to our places, so everything is related to it, and it's that can shape our opinion. So I think that it's not only the media that I know that it can shape our opinions, but it's not only its fault, it's ours too, because we are the ones who are going to its way. We are the ones that are not searching more to know what's the reality. And yeah, that's all.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sarah. That was interesting.
Yasmin, may I share some information?
Certainly, yes. Go ahead, Sarah.
Thank you so
I'd like
much.
to give everybody the chance, though. I hope we have time. Yes?
Okay, I'll try
Sarah,
to be
can
brief.
you hear me? Yes.
Yeah, I can
Go
hear
ahead.
you. I'll try to be brief. I've heard once a therapist who said, about social media, when you are scrolling on your feed, it is kind of impacting you subconsciously and it guiding you into a mental situation that's not always in favor of your personal development, in favor of your thinking development. And once I've heard also a TEDx where a scientist, she was speaking about how social media is impacting people. Like she said briefly that when you are bored, usually when people are bored, they go directly to social media, to Facebook. So when you are bored and your mind turns into an autopilot, you turn into an autopilot, and that's the state where you are the most creative and you can be the most, like, you can think and you can be you can solve your problem and you can connect things with each other. So I'm sorry. So when we are bored, we directly go to our Facebook. that is reducing our creativity and it's reducing our critical thinking. So that's why you see
Exactly.
people nowadays are not really thinkers and are just consumers of information. Thank you so much.
Exactly.
Hope I
Thank you,
was
Sarah. It's like we give them the chance to manipulate our minds. Exactly. Well, I've got
Hello?
Luna from Taiwan.
Can-
Yes.
Can I say something?
Yes. So I don't know who talked actually. Luna and Walid, I think, or Akim
Yes,
from camera.
I
Yes.
have,
Yes.
can I add something?
Certainly.
Can you hear me?
Are you with us, sir?
Walid, who I talk.
Yes. Yes, Walid. Go ahead.
I have here a lot of opinions. I think I agree with some and I disagree with some.
Certainly.
I think the media is important for the country and for some areas in other countries. The media is very present because they haven't the access for the information. So the media is the only access for the knowledge and know the news of the world. And also the media, I think, is manipulate a lot of opinion of people. Like the examples that they give our audience, like the election. Election, I can before I see the publicity of other election. I can maybe I want to vote for the elector one X, but when I see the media and the news, the opinion has already changed. So I will vote for the elector B. The media can change a lot of the opinion. Is that a little example? And in 2008, the media is one of the biggest responsible of the crisis, financial crisis in 2008, because it manipulate the market. Because when we check the loans from the banks, they say that the companies can repay the loans, but it's the contrary. And media help that misinformation, they say.
Thank you so much, Walid.
That's,
Thank you.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. I've got Akim from Cameron. Mr. Akim, can you hear me? I'm sorry if I mispronounced your
Yes,
name.
Yes, I can hear you. I can
Yes.
now. You pronounce it perfectly well.
Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Okay. I am very happy with this opportunity that has been given me. I think, as concerned on opinion, I think first of all there are a lot of things that we should take into consideration. The fact that the media's power is born of human hunger to get information. So first of all, it is because we need information that we find the media, because we want to get information. The second thing is the influence of the media is both good and bad. That's positive and negative. And talking about its negative influence, let's think of it as being determined by the expertise of the information technologist. For example, we have a lot of concepts like photoshopping, photo shooting, and things like that, which can blur or fake information and convince people of information that's false, and people take to the streets. But the media also has a lot of good points, like it benefits the society through, he was talking about George Floyd. You know about George Floyd. I know about George Floyd. Everybody knows about George Floyd because of the media. And this is, this helps us to get informed, and this information helps in our personal development. But the majority of the person, I mean, our sister from, I've forgotten her country, was talking, and she mentioned the fact that the media is all about business. It's about selling your ideas. So once you have ideas put up somewhere, it's like you discuss, your intellectual maturity determines what you get convinced by. So you can't just accept everything except you find out that whatever comes is right. So we have to put our judgment to the test. When information is false and we find out it's false, we can't allow ourselves to be influenced by it. But when it's good information, sometimes it is permitted for us to share information when it's good, because that does not only help us, it helps others. Talking about negative influences of information and communication technology here, if you consider the fact that in Africa, I mean, we have a whole lot of news channels, international news channels. You have the BBC, you have the CNN, you have Al Jazeera, you have all of these big houses. If we are talking about media, please, let's not limit ourselves to the internet or what we need data, mobile data for. We have the radio, even the telephones. If I have to place a call on you and you pick it up and we are discussing that, if you've ever looked at CNN, BBC, and you find out the type of images they project from Africa, you will never, you'll not be happy with images from, say, Ethiopia, images from, say, sub-Saharan Africa, for example, a lot of Ebola, a lot of SARS, a lot of HIV/AIDS, and even the coronavirus pandemic. You have them giving a lot of faulty information about these people, but because these are experts and they know how to paint information and they've won our trust as some of the most worthy information, reliable news channels, whatever they say, we accept as truth. So this has a way of playing on our psychology, but they can only influence us as much as we allow ourselves to be influenced, and this will be based on our individual judgments. So thank you very much. That's what I had to say.
Thank you. I really couldn't agree more. That was amazing. Thank you. Anybody wants to comment on what Mr. Ekim has said? I've got Luna. Luna wanted to talk, and
okay. So
yes.
this is Luna from Taiwan, and I'm happy to have this chance to speak something about how can media shape public opinion. And I think that in nowadays in the population, in the popular media, it is very easy for most people to gain some information. So actually, in most societies, the one who wants to promote their ideas has to have some control of this media. And the way they gain some attention from the media is that, first of all, they need to be an opinion leaders, and usually these opinion leaders are usually very eloquent, and they have their personal charismas to attract people's attention. And sometimes, like Jerry just said, that sometimes media can be manipulated by these people if their intention is not good. So I think right now what the society need the most is this ability to distinguish true information or false information, and to see the purpose of the promoters. The purpose behind the promoters to kind of promote some kind of ideology, or to promote some kind of political ideas, whether they are really for public benefit or just for personal political kind of advantages. So right now, I think since the media is trying to shape public opinions, and most people just follow their opinions, like especially for those who they really like, for those opinion leaders, sometimes it is right now. It's very important to promote the idea of critical literacy, to teach people how to distinguish from real ideas and false ideas. Thank you.
Wrong ones. Thank you so much, Luna. Thank you. The informations need to be checked everywhere. We can't trust one source of information, indeed. Well, who else want to interact with us? I've got Tadiwa, Brandon.
I want to add something actually.
Mitch. Certainly, yeah. I'd like to give the chance to everybody though. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Abdulraouf.
All right. So sometimes it's not about the truth of an information. Sometimes there's no information. It's just an idea that they want us to believe. If we take, for example, some series diffusers, let's not state the names. They are trying to affect the global ideology. So by just showing us that being gay is just normal, being transgender is just normal, through series and movies and things like that. So we keep seeing this. So, for example, in our culture, it's just totally forbidden. It's unacceptable. But by watching the series and movies again and again and again, one day we will accept it. It's either we want it or not. Yeah. Yes. So
it's a long-term influence.
Yes, long-term mass influence. There's like it's so repetitive. It gets repeated so often that you end up believing it. That's it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Totally true.
My pleasure.
Yes. So, Wells, Tadiwa, Brandon, can you hear me? Or Mitch, Zambia, anybody else wants to interact? I think we've got some more time. I think.
Hi.
Yes.
I
Hello
a
again.
little bit late, so
Totally
I guess
fine.
everyone is talking about media and how it affects life. Am I correct?
Yes. How does the media shape the public opinion? How does it influence the public opinion? So yes.
Okay. So to say something about that, I'll give an example from a political view. How media is used. Let's say someone is in power and some way their personal life has been mixed with their political life. You find that someone in opposition to their ideology or views will use their personal life to come against them. For example, they're involved in, let's say, extramarital affairs, and they'll use that information to blackmail the person in leadership to either invest some funds or, you know, to get the goal which they want to attain. So my view on media is it's very both dangerous and it's useful. It's useful in the aspect it can be used to educate those people or transfer information across a large mass. And also it can be used to totally destroy someone's life, someone's marriage, someone's everything, literally. And the worst part about it is that it cannot be removed. It stays as a stain. Whatever you do, anyone can go and let's say log into Facebook, look for the video where you were involved in that bad act and use it against you. So it's not like a newspaper which you can burn and with time it will get outdated. You can still find the information online. So care must be taken.
Thank you so much, Mitch. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your opinion with us. I actually wanted to hear from Alina, also from you, Hisham. You've been quiet today. So anybody
we
wants
still have some time, so you can.
We still, Alina, I wanted to make sure that we do. Yes, Alina, please.
We still do.
Hi guys, I have an example. Like I was born in Russia. My husband is from Poland, and we live in Ireland. And when some event is happening, significant event for the whole world, and we used to watch news on Polish channels or on Russians and Irish, and there were completely different news, like it was 3 events, not just one. But how can it be so? The truth is one for everyone, and you understand that nowadays everything is done to manipulate people, to separate them. to set one nation against another nation, but do ordinary people want this? We all want to consider each other as friends, because we are friends. We are all the same people of this planet Earth. And I think media should serve people and should show us a good example and should increase kindness and talk about unity and humanity and morals. And here we can't separate, like here we are people and here media, because media is the very same people. People are creating news, and we should understand that we have no external enemy. Our enemy is inside us. It is our own ego, our negative thoughts. I don't know, in religion it's called devil or shaitan. And when we realize that, we would be more careful about what information to consume and what information to spread, because what you are concentrating on, this is growing. And if we pay more attention to positive news, to something good, it will increase. And I think it is very important. Personal work on yourself is very important. That's it.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you so much, Alina.
Thanks,
Hello.
Alina.
Oh, Mr. Sergi, hello.
Yeah, sorry, today I'm
How
without
are
camera.
you? It's fine.
Good. It's a very good topic that you guys raised. I do agree that in today's world of
Yeah, I'm afraid we can't hear you. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
hello?
Can you hear him, guys?
Yeah, we cannot hear you.
Yeah, do you hear me?
Either.
No, we
How
actually
about now?
can't.
Do you hear me? Maybe my
Maybe.
internet connection is bad.
Yes.
Do you hear me now?
Yeah, a bit better, I guess.
Okay. So I was saying that even though today the content of the media largely depends on who owns the channel, media basically is a reflection of society. At the same time, it conveys different ideas to society. I agree with you. But if, for example, we as people will not watch a certain channel, for example, then nobody will be interested to display that content. So basically, the same thing in our society with I don't know, cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, and all the bad things that we have. So it's a personal choice of everyone, and Alina said it right. It's also a choice of consuming this or that information. Like, for example, some people care about their body or their diet or something like that, you know. So why don't we do the same with the information? Because information basically, the thought or the picture or the movie that we are watching, we consider it to be like, you know, something not sufficient, not important. But then later on we wonder why suddenly, without any reason, our mood changed, you know, or why all of a sudden we had a good mood and then we are in bad mood. But this is the direct influence of the information that we are letting inside ourselves. So, you know, I should say as well that we should start with ourselves as a society, give answer to ourselves first of all, like who am I, why am I accepting this or that information, and why am I doing this or that deed. You know, first of all, like to have some moral values. And then in our family, how am I treating my brother, sister, my wife, my husband? And then if we will manage to get things in order in these terms, then we can also choose which information to choose, or like, you know, if we as a society become more aware of what choices we are making daily, then I think the media, they will not have any choice just to follow, because if millions of people will not accept certain news, or instead of watching on TV some drama or some bad things, they will just switch it off and go read a book, or develop themselves. Especially with today's possibilities of internet, you can, and even mobile, even in some very far countries which are very poor, almost everyone has at least Samsung phone. And now this is the question: how they use this Samsung phone, what they watch on this phone. If everyone will ask themselves, so they will find the answer within themselves. So how we're using our time, how we are using our attention, this is what shapes our society, and not always the media shapes the society, but most of the time it's a reflection of who we are.
It's all about us, as you said, and as Alina said, which is very important, that we don't have an external enemy. It's us. Like, we are the enemy of ourselves. We choose what we consume. So yeah, totally agree. Thank you so much, Sergi. That was very interesting. Mr. Hisham, would you like to talk to us?
Yeah, I have heard multiple interesting opinions. So yeah, I do agree with most of them. And in my opinion, like, fact and the reality is hard to get nowadays. It's expensive and exotic. So the easy information should to be always checked, So because there are three type of people in nowadays world: the consumer, and the follower, and other type, which are people who always be careful and recheck the news. So they are not an easy consumer. Yeah. So as long as the media does not have any bias to a party or to a certain ideology, that's totally okay. So they just convey the message, like when something happened in a territory or in area, they just convey what's happening. And then they have some studios to discuss this. This is the most sensitive part, when they discuss what's happening. So their opinion can shape the public opinion and can affect people, Yeah, this is in one side. In the other side, media also have very, very good and effective ways how to introduce and promote good things, Not only the news, also the drama and the movies, like Asian are doing nowadays, especially South Korea with Korean drama. They're trying to shape their culture and their country, so they affect a lot of people in a good way, of course, not in a bad way. So they just attract you to visit their country with their cute guys and girls, with the K-pop music. Yeah, so this is a very effective way to promote your country, to introduce your culture and your land to other people, foreigners across the ocean. Yeah, so in this side, media is very effective. So it can do what a lot of things cannot do in just a few times. Yeah, so I want just to be a bit positive, because we have heard enough negatives idea in this meeting. So yeah, I just want to emphasize the positive things in the media. That's very positive. Also promote other things, maybe product or books or whatever. Yeah, books is, it could be considered one type of media. It's not really media.
It is
only with
it
the
is
audio.
considered as a mean.
Yeah, as the media. So it's like audio media. Yeah, book also can distribute and convey a lot of ideas when you read a book, especially a self-help book or a business book. So yeah, and we miss that part of book. Multiple people just talk about the news, like CNN, Al Jazeera, and yeah, this is book also are very effective. They transmit a lot of ideas and about business or whatever field. Yeah, so that's what I wanted
I'd
to
like
say.
to comment on something, Hisham.
Yeah, go
So
ahead,
basically,
sure.
the means of the media, like the books, or TV or radio, all of them can be good and bad. Like even the book itself can be bad sometimes. So we don't only see it as a good side of like transmitting messages, the good messages, but they can also be really bad. So basically, the media is how you see it. And when you mentioned the culture, promoting the culture, like the Korean side of the transmitting, promoting for the culture, that's what Sarah mentioned at the beginning. Like as Algerians, we do not have the media that would promote for our culture. So they barely know about our country. And the irony is that even us Algerians, we don't know much about our country. Like as I mentioned on the previous meeting, I am from the Sahara, and basically a lot of people from my country, they don't know about my city, like where I was born, and it's like a totally different culture. So yeah, promoting for the culture is a really good way of seeing the good side of the media. Yes, Hisham.
Yeah, I have a feedback about when you said that book can be very bad. I agree with you, but book is the least mean. You know why? Because usually people who read books are very cultivated. So they are not a consumer. It's not easy to convey an idea to them. They always read, analyze, and screen the ideas and make research after reading a book to make sure if the book is if the information is authentic or no, so people who get information from the book, they are safe because they are cultivated enough, somehow. Yeah, but the media is available for all people in all level, and that's the most dangerous thing. Yeah, kids can watch the media, can watch films, movies, and news, and elderly people, maybe illiterate people, and whoever. So the media, I mean the audiovisual media like news and drama and movies are destined to the whole society. So it could be dangerous, especially for the consumer, the blind consumer. I don't know
Totally
if I can
agree.
call them
I
like
totally agree. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted to say earlier. Exactly like this. So it's available for everyone, like accessible for everyone. So yes,
yeah, and
everybody can be
it's
influenced,
easy.
including kids.
You can just
Yes.
turn on the TV or the Facebook
Yes.
or any social media, and you can consume a lot of news. And they even use animation and pictures and videos. So they can use emotion and drama to affect your opinion. So even sometimes you have different opinion, but the drama, the animation, the pictures can turn you around. And yeah.
Thank you. We're on the same page. Thank you, Hisham. That was really interesting. I don't know if you've got some time left, Hisham. I think we should stop it here.
Okay, so before we wrap up, I just want to ask all the new members for today to share their Instagram with us. They can just type the Instagram on the chat room here, or they can contact the admin from WhatsApp or Skype group and share their Instagram or Facebook if they want to be tagged in our post on Instagram. Yeah, this is, I have another thing also. For people who joined us today, they can contact the admin on Skype or on Instagram to add them to our main VIP group. So our main VIP group is only for people who already participate at least one time with us. Yeah, so just don't hesitate to contact the admin. They will add you to our VIP group on WhatsApp. Yeah, so go ahead, Yasmin.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. I really wanted to hear everyone, like literally every one of you, but apparently we don't have much time. So thank you so much for attending today's meeting. The topic was so interesting. The interaction was so interesting. So I sincerely thank you, and I hope to get to talk to you very soon again. Thank you. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you, Yasmin. Thank you,
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Hisham.
sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Let's make part
Thank you
2,
so much.
Yasmin, please.
Thank you.
Certainly, the topic is so good. Yes, Sarah. We will, hopefully.
I am agree with Sarah. We can do the second part in the next week.
Yeah, why not?
Sorry?
If we have another host that is interested to host this topic, so maybe we can have a second part
Yes.
of
Yes.
the media and journalism.
Can I be the host?
Yeah, no problem. We have in our VIP group, we have a sheet, so you can just go to the link. I will share it today as well, and just type your name and the topic and the date. So go to this sheet and fill in whenever you want to be a host in the available.
I have already seen the sheets. I think the next free topic is in the August.
Oh, June and July is no. We have July. You can go to the right
July?
side. Yeah, so we
Okay,
have June, July, and August. Yeah, go to the right side. You will find July a lot of date of volleyball.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so anyone have a question or whatever about our group or want to add something?
The last thing, I think in our present we can check all the information that we see in the news, because we have today in our present different multiple source to check that information. We have media, we have the internet, we can see multiple site web. Even we can check with our family if he's expert in that information. So not like the past that we have just the television tell us the news, we must believe him.
Multiple narratives for the same topic. Yeah, one topic and multiple narratives. Yes,
I want to
what you
add
mean.
something, please. One last thing.
Yes, Sarah.
Sure.
I want to say that a society, before it becomes society, it is more than a society. It is so many individuals. Like, we are individuals before we turn into a society. So it's very important for each individual to take his own responsibility, individual responsibility of processing reliable information, of sharing reliable information, because what we do is totally impacting the world. Probably the impact is not being shown, but if I add my impact, your impact, and other person's impact, we will reach like we will see how our individual actions are impacting the world and our society. So I call people to take their own responsibility, their own individual responsibility. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, everyone. I just wanted to add something just before.
Oh, certainly. Tadiwa, is it Brandon?
Yeah, Brendan.
Yes.
Please, thank you.
Please go ahead.
Thank you for inviting me to the meeting. It was very informative, and I especially like the topic about how media impacts society. And I don't know, I was a little bit late to the meeting, so maybe I missed it, but I didn't really hear how media is impacting like society, like socially, in terms of how like values are being instilled in young people. As in, when you go through media, it almost seems like there's a certain kind of way we are supposed to look, a certain way we are supposed to dress, and how we are supposed to act. And I feel like there's a sort of cultural erosion that has been brought about by media. So yeah, it's just one of those things. But I think overall, though, media is a good thing. It's informative and it helps us be in the know. However, in the wrong hands, like anything good, it can also be used for bad. But in general, media is a good thing, and we should just be careful with how we use it, and we should just moderate it. I think so. Thank you.
Certainly. Thank you so much, Brandon. Thank you. I hope you can enjoy the next session as well.
Can I say
Alright,
something?
Yeah, I think we're running out of time, but yeah, please go ahead.
Please, can I say something in
Go ahead.
Yes, we
reaction
can
to
hear you,
what you
sir.
just said?
Yeah, we can hear
Sorry?
you. Go ahead.
I think he can't hear us anymore. Can you guys hear you?
Hakim?
Please, can I say something in reaction to what the
no.
last person just said?
Yeah, go ahead,
Yes.
Hakim. We can hear you.
I think his internet is
We
not
still
stable.
can't hear him, isn't it?
It's unstable. His internet. I think
Yes.
we
What
can't
I
hear
was
him. Can you
what
hear?
I'm saying is, she said she started asking questions on culture, and we were waiting for our individual moments to comment on the issue of culture and how media influences culture. However, some of us were not given the opportunity. She didn't ask some of those questions to us, but I mean, all of us know the influence of media on culture. In Cameroon today, we are forgetting our languages, and I speak English better than I speak my mother tongue, my vernacular, for example. And I also dress up in suits more often than I even dress up. I don't remember the last time I dressed up in my traditional regalia. And it's easier to find people discussing in the language of the media than in the language of the ordinary, the indigenes. And one other thing is, in Cameroon, for example, it's easier to find people singing hip hop, like English songs, American songs, watching American movies, and so on. But watching Cameroonian movies or Nigerian movies or movies of places in Africa that have a lot of cultural interaction with which we can relate, it's difficult to see that. And so I think sometimes we need to also remember that while we are doing some of these things, the media has a lot of influence on us. But if we are using channels on TV, and we have to start locking up we have to restrict access to the internet so that we can, because the media is one of the issues of globalization, and I very strongly hope that one day we talk about globalization, because the media is used to impose foreign cultures on African culture, for example, because at the end of the day, when we talk about globalization and the world becoming a global village, whose culture will be used? Whose language will be used? Whose clothing? Whose attire? All of these things just point to one fact. It is the West that tends to gain from the media. We seem to be taking more from them than we are giving to them.
I totally agree. Totally. It's all about the West.
Western civilization.
Yeah, and he mentioned the globalization, so we need to touch that as a topic as well. Yeah, I think this topic can never be stopped. We can't stop discussing this topic apparently, but I think we should. We should give it a part 2, Hisham, right?
Yeah, maybe we should consider a second part of this topic.
Certainly.
So what was
Certainly.
the
A lot
second
of
question
ideas
you
need to
said?
be. Sorry?
What was the second question you said? Since we continue.
I said we should have a
Just
part
joke.
2 of the same topic, Sergi. Yeah. All right. So thank you so much again, guys. I hope that's the last thank you I'm gonna say. So I hope to see you again so soon, and that was really amazing. Thank you for participating. Thank you all, and that's it.
Yeah, see you
Thank
next
you,
It was a
Sunday.
pleasure.
Thank you. It's
Yeah.
a pity we only get to discuss like this
Bye-bye.
once a week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.